Hey everybody, it's Chris with Braille Scale, and I'm very excited to be announcing the start of the first ever Braille Scale build-off. But first, let me thank my fellow YouTuber for all the help making these slides, including the one you're seeing here. So, big thanks to Jorama Modellbau. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but I hope I got pretty close. Here's a link to his latest video. It's actually from a group build that he hosted with ScaleBench called the Captured Group Build, which is also how I was able to subscribe to him and find his channel in the first place. So he and ScaleBench are both participating in this group build. It's all very cool how that winds up working out. So before I go ahead and unbox the 1/72nd scale Tiger early production from Trumpeter, let me go ahead and show you the product I just got. So I go back and forth between two different Tamiya extra thins because one of them I'll use strictly for thinning out putty, whether it's Mr. Surfacer products or the Tamiya putty. But of course, the big risk with these is potentially knocking them over on your desk when you're reaching across. So this glue holder is 3D printed out in the UK by Bulldog Models. You can see it. You knock it around, it's not really going anywhere, and if it does, it's moving as a whole piece. It's not knocking things over because when he printed this thing, I mean, it's custom fit exactly to the dimensions of these glue bottles. I'll put a link in the description below, but yeah, he's a fellow YouTuber, scale modeler. I mean, this is just something he enjoys doing, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to support him. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up here, and let's take a look at the Trumpeter Tiger 1 early production. First off, right off the bat here, we got these vinyl tracks and some additional vinyl bits that, I'm not too familiar with this. I don't really see this often, but they've printed, the tow cables. Glad it's not bent or curled or folded on itself. Anyway, the wheel's pretty straightforward. A lot of them. It's a Tiger. I do like what some of the other kits are doing now, where they're just printing all the Tiger wheels as one piece for these scales. Taking a look at the upper hull, it doesn't look bad. I just wish they had some, photo etch grills on there. I'll show you guys some close-up pictures, and then the lower hull. It's also good. They've got a little bit of, you can see in the picture, they've got a little bit of detail underneath the fenders there, but it's probably not going to be too noticeable when it's all said and done. Anyway, this wasn't really supposed to be like an inbox review or anything like that. I just wanted to go ahead and crack this thing open and get started on it to kick off the group build. But it's funny because I did notice that this sprue in here is actually a dragon sprue that I put in the box, and I got a little confused about that because I forgot I had thrown in some spare stuff in here when I got the kit. But these are the dragon decals that I had left over, which was pretty obvious, but yeah, in a minute here I wind up figuring out after I look through these instructions that no, it's not an extra sprue. It's just something that I went ahead and tossed in there, but it does give me a pretty cool opportunity to compare kind of the rear hull plate between a Dragon 1/72nd scale kit and this Trumpeter 1/72nd scale kit, and I was pleasantly surprised that I think the details and the mold quality are actually a little better here on this Trumpeter kit. Anyway, let's put them aside, and I'll go ahead and speed it up here and get into a quick little build and dry fit, just so you guys can get a good idea of how it looks. I usually like to kind of mock things up pretty early on, just so I have a good idea about how well the kit's going to go together, the fit, things like that. I do prefer to cut the pieces off the sprue, pretty far away from the part, and then I'll actually, once I've got the whole piece off the sprue, I'll go ahead and really trim it up and get it as close as I can before I have to start using a file or some sandpaper. That way I'm just not, sometimes the sprue itself, the whole sprue gate and everything can cause issues when you're trying to get the parts right off, so I give it a wide berth right off the bat with the smaller stuff. And the two-part turret kind of gave me I wouldn't say an issue, but there was definitely some flash on there, and I mean, I didn't clean any of this up. I was just playing around, but the fit is very tight, so it's I mean, even without gluing the two halves together, just getting the pins together there and then putting it into the top hull plate is definitely enough to hold everything together pretty solid. So that's nice to see that it does fit, and it has some pretty tight tolerances. Usually a pretty good sign that you're not going to have a lot of fit issues going forward. It's nice to have those tolerances right on. But it was funny because when it finally did pop in, it popped off a piece of that flash, and I was pretty surprised because it was a pretty good chunk, and I was worried that I had actually forced it too hard and popped off something important, but all good. So we're 4 parts into the kit and it's already looking like a tiger. So it's definitely another reason I like to dry fit like this. I feel like I can get a lot done in a short amount of time and see what it's going to look like when I'm done. And then the top of the turret just drops right on. And that's it for the build preview. 5 parts, took some pictures, and this is how it's looking after day 1 of the Braille scale build off. So if you guys want to participate, you can do it on YouTube, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on Instagram or Facebook. I just would ask that you use the hashtag. It's hashtag Braille scale build off, or and or hashtag BS scale models. Of course, you can always shoot me a message or tag me in something, send me an email. I have my email address specifically for this group build here at the end of the video. And for anybody interested, I will go ahead and do the kit comparison parts with the parts that I do have left over from the 2006 Dragon release. This is the 2006 Trumpeter release, so it's probably a pretty good side-by-side comparison of what the two companies offered about 14 years ago. Trumpeter does have a single part barrel with the hollow muzzle, the muzzle brake already molded on, which is pretty cool. Here's the side by side of the rear plates between the two kits. This looks pretty good, right? Yeah, okay, just kidding. I'll pull up some pictures. You can see Dragon has the rear fenders molded on. It's all one piece. Trumpeter gives you those rear fenders separately, and I think Trumpeter actually gives you a little bit more detail in the hinge area. It might not be as crisp as the detail that Dragon provides, but I guess we'll see how it looks after some paint and washes. But I'll go back to that other picture just to show you the differences between the two kits and how they treat the engine starter adapter plate there. It's in the center of the rear hull plate on the top. Dragon kind of has it more like a oblong blob, and once again I think Trumpeter does a better job of providing maybe more of the correct shape with some extra detail included. But that's it. So thanks again for watching, guys. This runs until December 31st. If you guys want to send me some pictures of completed builds or progress shots that I can put together into a slideshow at the end of the year when this is over, my email address is here, braillescalechris@gmail.com, braille.scale.chris. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it was interesting, and please feel free to participate. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's builds. Thank you.